And when you're ready, start coming into shy breath. Breathing deeply with sound. And get into the edges of your inhales and exhales. Exploring where you feel the constrictions, where you feel the blockages for that breath to expand fully, and continue trying to get that depth. With your next inhale, start walking your hands towards the right side of your mat and beyond. Maybe you bring the hips to the left side a little more so you feel all the opening on the left. Breathe a little more into, kind of trying to feel the movement of those left side ribs. Feel all the connection from your fingertips to the outer left hip. Take another full breath. Nice. And walk your hands to center and to the other side and do the same. And notice the differences. Nice. Another full breath there. And then come back to center and bring your palms together to touch in prayer position. Bend your elbows, bring the hands to the back of the head. Walk your elbows a little more forward, maybe. And bring the hips back towards the heels and the hands to the back of your head. Do not interlace your fingers. Keep your palms and fingers in contact there. Maybe you're a little stronger and pressing your elbows, upper arms against the floor to feel the shoulder blades moving away from the spine. Take another full breath. Nice, and then extend your arms. Come up into hands and knees kind of thing. So your knees are right under your hips. And let's do the same thing. So bring the forearms to the floor, elbows shoulder width apart, hands in prayer. Bend your elbows, bring the hands to the back of your head. And now you get your spine involved a little more into a little more of an extension. Keep your navel in. It's pretty safe here. The fold in the pelvis doesn't allow you to create a lot of extension on the lower back, but see if you can keep drawing your chest down for a couple more breaths. Nice, and then extend your arms and come up into hands and knees. Good, and turn the fingers out and as much towards you as it's available. Extend your arms, slide the shoulder blades back, and see if you can move maybe your hips, your whole body a little bit more back. Take another full breath. Nice. And bring the hands in the normal position. Now let's do some circles on the wrists and especially work on pushing this position where your shoulders are a little bit in front of your wrists. Really trying to be strong with your hands. Press your fingertips on the floor every time that you come in that place. Yeah, so do a couple circles in one direction. At the same time, you're moving your hips, your shoulders, right? And then move the other way. And every time that you come forward, very strong with your fingertips, activating your hands, activating the muscles on your forearms. Right. And once you come back to center, let's do a couple cat-cows at your pace. Inhaling, open the chest, lift the chin, lift the citizen, slide the shoulder blades back, externally rotate your arms. And exhale, push the floor, release the head The inner elbows face a little more towards each other, so the shoulder blades slide towards your head, and explore at your pace how the right and left side feel. You might move a little less if your spine is sore and you need some time, and then slowly getting a little more range. We'll do a couple more, and every time that you exhale, hold that exhale, so no breath, and draw the navel towards the spine and try to refine the stretch, but also the holding of the breath there, the suspension of the breath. And then inhaling, arching your back. Exhaling deeply, draw your navel in deeply, so that Uddiyana Bandha, leave the pelvic floor too, bring your chin to your chest, hold. And so one more, inhaling, arching. Exhaling, rounding. Draw your navel in and hold your breath out. Inhale, arch the back. And exhale, find a neutral tabletop position. Bring your knees together and lift the feet off the floor. So just, a little bit. So now we can start using the movement of the feet to the sides to create a lateral flexion on the spine. And it's not huge, but you can make it bigger, right? Like you can really try to contract one side so the other side opens, separating the shoulder from the hip. The head is also moving. Nice. Nice. And then bring the feet back to the floor. And now let's bring the hips to the sides. Like you're trying to bring the outer hip towards the floor. Right? Yeah. So, exactly. And the next time you go to the left side, let's bring the hips all the way to the left there. So we're in this position. Yeah. So we're going to work on a side plank. You might need to bring the left hand just a little bit more forward. The side plank in this shape. So when you're ready, press the floor and lift the left hip up like that. Yeah, it's just simple. Yeah, you can bring the right arm up to the ceiling and then bring it back down. Now bring the left hip up and separate the right knee away from the left knee, working on a clamshell there, Yes. And then you can bring the right arm in a cactus shape and open the chest. And then lower. Let's do 3 more. Open, and you can explore opening your chest a little more. Stay strong in your legs. Lower. And strong on that left arm too, so do not collapse. Nice. The next time you lift, bring the right knee towards you and grab it with your right hand. And try to bring it closer to you as you open the chest. Nice. And then release the knee, bring the foot back so your right leg now is extended. And bring the right arm over the head and reach and open. Side body, shoulder, front of the hip maybe gets a little more too. Take an inhale. And exhale and bring the knee towards you, bring the hip down. And let's push back up into hands and knees. And let's do that again. Hips to the sides. Right? Turn, so I keep looking at you. Yeah. And the next time you bring the right hip to the floor, let's stay there. Maybe bring the right hand a little bit more forward. And let's press the floor and lift super strong right side. And then come down. So the next time, do that same thing and lift the left knee away from the right. Maybe the left arm reaching. And keep doing that. Lifting, and maybe you bend your left elbow in a cactus shape. Inhaling as you open, exhaling as you lower. Keep the right arm working strongly. Nice. The next time you lift, let's hold. Nice. Strong outer hips. Bring the left knee towards you, grab it and try to bring it closer. Super strong on that right arm. Nice. And then extend the left leg a little bit behind you, extended and grounded as you reach with your left arm over the head and open that side. Breathing in and out, release your head, strong right arm. Nice. And bring the left knee towards you and sit. Nice. Hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Bring the hips back towards the heels. Let's stretch the toes. If you can come up and hold the stretch on your toes while we do something else with the shoulders, stay in this position. If you need to bring the tops of the feet to the floor, go ahead. So have your elbows shoulder width apart, bent 90 degrees. If you want, you can have a block, so you have something to squeeze and make sure you keep your elbows shoulder width apart. But you can do this without it and making sure that your elbows stay at that distance. And then let's start bringing the arms, the elbows in a circle. So down to the side, and really especially working on this vertical position, trying to lift them without letting those lower ribs to open a lot. Nice, and go both ways. Yeah, so if you've been going the same way, do 3 more the other way. And the next time you have your elbows up, let's work there. So how much can you lift the elbows without arching your back, keeping the tailbone down, keeping a sense of tone in the front body, those lower ribs in, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Release the block, downward facing dog. So feel your distance, ground your hands, push the floor, relax the head. Feel that upper back relatively wide, but then push the floor a little more and keep lifting weight away from the floor. Maybe you hinge the hips a little more, bending the knees, lifting the sitting bones, and then re-extending the legs and trying to ground the heels. And reconnect to your deep, smooth breaths as you keep your awareness open to all the sensations, to the thoughts and images and ideas that come to your mind. See if you can observe them with equanimity, with some distance, with a little detachment. So it's part of our human experience, and you just observe that flow. And maybe the moments of silence and that background in between impressions. Nice. And when you're ready, with your next exhale, start walking forward, keep breathing as you need. And if you want to work a little more, keep your heels up, keep your arms super strong, press on the floor and come close and close and close. And maybe you hold it super tight there. Press on the floor, keeping the hips up, lifting the kneecaps, and then releasing into ragdoll. Shake your head, yes or no. Make sure your arms are as relaxed as they could be. Let the spine also feel the effects of gravity fully. And then feel your feet pressing the floor and come up rounding all the way up. Nice. Get into Tadasana. Let's take a couple breaths to observe the alignment. And again, feel the fullness of the breath here in the standing position. Nice. And when you're ready, with your next inhale, let's start bringing the arms out and up. Sun Salutation B. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Take an inhale, long spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling, step back, plank pose. Hold this plank, couple breaths. Engage your quads, engage your glutes, tuck your tailbone. Try to elongate your spine a little more, slide the shoulder blades back. Keep that tone on the belly. And then push with your toes, come a little forward, and then maybe bring the knees to the floor, maybe you don't. Squeeze your elbows in, lower all the way down for 3 cobras. Point your toes, lengthen your whole body, and when you're ready, lift the head, the shoulders, the chest, and your hands, and take another full breath there. Redefine the way you're working with your legs, with your core, and exhale and bring the forehead down. Now keep your hands on the floor, lift the next inhale. Maybe a little higher, maybe a little more detailed. And exhale and bring the forehead back to the floor. And one more at your pace. Awakening those spinal muscles, awakening your glutes and your legs. Exhale and bring the forehead back down. Inhaling, pressing back up into plank. And exhale, fold, downward facing dog. 4 breaths. Nice. Last one. And when you're ready, then inhale and lift the heels, soften the knees, feel your hands. Walk, step or float forward. Inhaling long, flat back. Fold deeply, exhale. Inhaling strong legs to lift you all the way up. Exhale, bring the arms out and down. Inhaling, arms out and up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhaling, Ardha Uttanasana, long spine. Chaturanga Dandasana, exhale. Inhaling, upward facing dog, maybe now, another cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Breathing, listening. Noticing where you're being too intense, too strict, too rigid. And where maybe you need to be a little more awake, a little more intentional. Take another full breath. Then inhaling, heels raise. Exhale, float or walk. Inhaling, long, flat back. Folding on exhale. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, bring the arms down. One more at your own pace. With your breath, maybe with your eyes closed. Nice, and then take another full breath. And inhaling, raise your heels, soften the knees. Exhale, float. Inhaling, lengthen. Fold, exhale. Bring the arms up and lift all the way up. Exhaling, bring the arms down. Nice. And salutations B, starting with Utkatasana. As always, we'll do a couple modifications on the first one. Sitting Utkatasana, inhaling, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhaling, Chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing. Exhaling, downward facing dog. And bring the feet together. Lift the right leg up. Work on making the split pretty even. So your hips stay facing the floor. You keep that left leg working strongly to lift the right leg up a little more. And maybe you make your left hand lighter. You come to your fingertips or you lift the whole hand. Breathing. Keep pushing the floor strongly with the right arm. And then bring the left hand to the floor and open the hips to the right. And try to lift the right foot as high as you can. And then bring it back behind you and bend the knee. So yeah, three-legged dog, opening that right thigh and hip flexors. Nice. Inhaling, extend the leg. Close the pelvis again and bring the right knee towards the right elbow, upper arm there. Inhaling, lift the leg up. Exhale, go across to your left upper arm. Inhaling, lift up. Exhale, bring the knee towards the right upper arm. Try to extend the leg to the side. Bend the knee, shift back again, lift the leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring the left knee towards the left upper arm and then try to extend across there. And bend, shift the way back, inhale. Exhale, bring the knee towards the nose and set the foot in between your hands and get into that low, long lunge. So sliding the left foot back, trying to elongate your spine, engage your quad, lift the kneecap, engage your left glute. Nice. Bring the left knee to the floor and top of the foot to the floor. And now try to bring the hips forward and down as you lift your collarbones up. Nice. Bring the hips a little more back for the transition. We're going to bring the hands to the thighs. And then do that here. Try to bring the hips a little more forward and down. Keep your left glute engaged and the right heel very heavy too, so you have control from your legs. And you can stay here or bring the arms behind. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Soften your elbows. Roll the shoulders. Open the chest. Nice. And maybe with control, you lower a little more. Keep breathing. Nice. Take an inhale. Exhaling, release the hands. Extend your right leg. Shift your hips back. Lift the right toes. Half Hanumanasana. Try to work with that back super long first, and maybe you stay there working on that, or then eventually fall towards the leg. Breathing, listening, paying attention to the details. Nice. Bring the sole of the right foot to the floor. Tuck your back toes for crescent lunge. And inhaling, coming up, bring the arms out and find your balance. And play with positioning the pelvis in a neutral, even way. And then extend the left leg. Feel that right heel grounded. And bring the arms up, up, up. So much reaching. But then maybe there's a little space for it going over. And you keep working on that. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, draw the navel in, feel your strength. Inhaling, lengthening, maybe reaching a little more over. Exhaling, navel in. One more. And then inhale, exhaling, hands to the floor, plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing, inhaling. Downward facing dog, exhale. Feet together. Lift your left leg. The right leg stays even and strong. Your pelvis squaring towards the floor. Push the floor strongly with both arms. And then see if you can make your right hand light. And maybe even lift it up all the way. Nice. Bring the hand to the floor. Open the hips to the left. Work on lifting the left foot as high as you can to the ceiling. And then bring it behind you with your leg extended for as long as you can. And then when you get to that end of range, bend the knee. Keep pushing the floor. Stay long on your spine. And then inhaling, extend your leg. Close the pelvis and bring the left knee towards the left upper arm. Inhaling, shift your weight back, lift the leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring the knee towards the right upper arm. Inhaling, lift. Exhale, now bring the left knee to the left upper arm, but try to extend the leg to the side. Whew. And bend and lift. And then bring the knee to the right upper arm and bring the leg into extension across your body. Bend the knee again, shift your weight back. Exhale, bring the knee towards the nose and set the foot in between your hands. Low lunge. Very wide. Try to peel open the sole of the right foot. Engage the quad, lift the kneecap. Reach with your heel. Find a little longer spine. Chest open. Nice. Then bring the knee to the floor, top of the foot to the floor, and try to bring the hips forward and down as you start working on lifting the collarbones up. Take another breath. And then release that and bring the hips a little more back to bring the hands to the top of the thigh. And now make sure you engage your legs to maybe bring the hips a little lower so you feel some control. The left heel is active, the right glute is active. And then you can stay there or bring the arms behind, interlace the fingers. Make sure you roll the shoulders back, then extend the arms and bring the hips forward. So you lift the collarbones up for a couple more breaths. Work it. Breathing. Nice. Release the hands to the floor. Extend the left leg. Inhaling, long spine. And exhale, fold from hinging from the hip. Nice. Release the neck eventually. You can let go a little bit of that back of the neck. Keeping the intention of elongation through the front body. Nice. Bend the knee, set the foot, tuck your back toes, lift the back knee, crescent lunge. Nice. So find it, neutral pelvis, and then try to extend that right leg as much as we were doing before. And lift the arms up, 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 with the intention of maybe creating so much space that you can go over. So inhaling, reach and lengthen. Exhaling, draw your navel in, feel a little stronger, more connected to your roots. Inhaling as you elongate. Exhale, belly in, pelvic floor up. One more. And take an inhale, exhaling hands to the floor, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling upward facing dog, exhaling downward facing dog. Let's take a couple breaths. Release anything that maybe got a little too tight, too intense. Find some smoothness, some easiness. And take an inhale, lift the heels, soften the knees, exhale, walk, float, step. Inhaling, lengthen, fold it, exhaling. Bend the knees for Utkatasana, inhaling, coming all the way up. Exhaling, bend the knees, Utkatasana, inhaling, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhaling, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And bring the right foot forward, left heel down, Warrior One. Virabhadrasana 1. Coming up on inhale and lowering on exhale, all the way down to Chaturanga. Inhaling upward. Lift the hips, exhale, fold, left foot forward, right heel down, Warrior One, inhale. Exhaling, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Nice. Take an inhale, raise your heels, soften the knees. Float or walk, exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Fold, exhaling. Bend the knees, Utkatasana. Inhaling, coming all the way up. And Utkatasana, last one. Do it at your own pace. And maybe close your eyes. And connect to your rhythm. Nice, deep, smooth, even breaths. Take an inhale, lift the heels, soften the knees, feel your hands. Walk, step or float, exhaling. Inhaling, long, flat back. Fold, exhale, bend the knees, Utkatasana. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands to your heart. Nice. So let's do a couple of variations of Padangusthasana from Utkatasana too. So have your feet hip width apart. Bend the knees, and let's bring the hands in this position so your elbows are bent 90 degrees, your palms are facing each other. Squeeze your elbows towards each other and sit. Draw the navel in, keep some tension, some control there on the front of the rib cage, but sit deeper. Nice. Take an inhale. Exhale, fold, grab your big toes with index and middle finger. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, bring your elbows out. Let the head be super heavy. Slide the shoulder blades up a little. And work on staying pretty close to that primary fold from the hips. Making your spine longer, making the back of the legs longer. Nice. Release the toes, bend the knees, bring the arms behind your back, interlace your fingers, soften your elbows, roll the shoulders, bring your heart forward, crown the head up. Bend the knees, right? Like so, Utkatasana. Yes, so heart forward, breathing in and out. Stay strong, you can do it. Have a little more weight on your heels. Feel those glutes and hamstrings working. Take an inhale and on exhale, fold forward. Relax the head. And allow those arms to be a little heavier. See if you can feel some safety to let those arms come a little more towards the floor. Keep releasing your mouth. Your whole head is hanging. Nice. And let's release the hands, bend the knees, Utkatasana. Bring the arms up to the ceiling. Woo. Take an inhale, exhale, and with the next inhale, press the floor and come all the way up. Exhaling, bring the hands to your heart. Nice. Let's do a couple of the standing poses in the Ashtanga sequence. So right foot steps back into triangle. Bring the arms up parallel to the floor. Take an inhale. Exhale, reach, reach, reach. Utthita Trikonasana. Feel grounded and strong on those legs so you can feel a little more freedom on the upper body to explore, opening the chest more. Keep breathing deeply. Notice if you're being shy in some areas of your upper body with the breath. Nice, and then turn the gaze down, bend the right knee, shift your weight forward for Ardha Chandrasana. Come up, explore that, finding your balance mostly from the right foot. Nice. Being light with the left fingers, with the right finger, sorry, and the left fingers too. Excellent, and then step back into triangle smoothly and find it for one more breath. With your next inhale, push the floor, come up, turn the feet. Utthita Trikonasana to the other side. Inhale, exhaling, reach, reach, and get into the pose. And same, but maybe it's not so much the same, right? Like our sides are so different. So yeah, feel some new sensations here as you explore, creating that same balance with your feet, sense of openness in the front, breath that is moving fully. And then turn your gaze down, bend the left knee, shift your weight, Ardha Chandrasana, come up, finding that balance from the left foot. See if you can maybe open the hips a little more, the chest a little more. Maybe you can turn your gaze away from the floor. Nice. Take another inhale. And exhale. And then inhale and exhale, step the right foot back, triangle. And with your next inhale, lift for revolve triangle. Let's turn to the back of the mat. Bring the left heel out. Bring the left hand up. Inhale, exhale, fold, and twist. And again, stay strong on your legs. Neutral pelvis. To then find more of the twist with each breath from the base of your spine. Nice. Stay strong and inhale and lift. Turn your feet. Let's go the other way. Bring the right arm up. Exhale and fold and twist. Strong legs. Inhale and find a little more space in the spine. Exhale, draw your navel in and maybe you can find a little more turn. Nice. With your next inhale, let's lift and come into side angle pose. So pivot on the ball of the left foot to bring the heel out. On the heel of the right foot to bring the toes to the back of the mat. Bend the right knee. Find your side angle variation. Yeah. Keep your right knee bent and try to bring it over that ankle. So it's a little deeper. Extend the left leg completely. Really ground the left heel. Nice. Nice. Be light with the forearm or with the hand. And then inhale in, press, come back, come up, and turn the feet the other way. Take an inhale. Exhale in, side angle pose. Again, try to feel like you're avoiding that collapse down. You're staying strong. And then you have all these possibilities of things to explore with your upper body. With each exhale, draw your navel in. And also lift the pelvic floor. Nice. Inhaling, lifting. Turn into the back of the mat. Left heel lifts for a revolved side angle. Bring the left hand up, inhale. Exhale, think of bringing as much of that upper arm to the outside of the right side. So then find your prayer hands, maybe opening your arms, maybe finding a bind, half or full. Breathing. Extend the left leg again if you lost it. And keep that left hip relatively lifted. Nice. Feel your legs. On inhale, lift. Turn. Lift the right heel, bring the right arm up. Peel open all the right side and exhale in, bring the right arm to the outside of the left thigh. For prayer, for open arms, maybe binding. Take 2 more breaths. Nice. And inhaling, lifting for Prasarita Padottanasana, feet parallel. So 2. So bring the hands to your hips. Inhale, lift the collarbones. Exhale, fold forward. And bring the hands to the floor. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhaling, fold it. Release the head, lift the sitting bones, elongate the spine, and if you're with your head on the floor, then start going across the legs and look a little more towards the pelvic floor. Engage your abs. And keep the weight even on your feet. Excellent. Take an inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, bring the hands to your hips. Come the rest of the way up, inhaling. And let's set the hands on the hips, elbows squeezing towards each other. Inhaling, lifting, exhale, fold forward. And now work on keeping the chest open, even though you're letting go of your head and you're folding all the way. And you're feeling a little more of the control from your feet, trying to activate more the hip flexors to find that hinge on the hips. Nice. Breathing evenly. And then release your hands to the floor. And keeping your feet parallel, bring the hips down. So try to bend the knees, yes, and bring the hips as low as they will go in that position. So maybe you get an outer lower leg stretch, and you feel that place where you cannot go any deeper. And then lift the hips. And do that a couple more times. Bend the knees, attempt to lower the hips. Lift them up, extend. Another one. Nice. And then turn the toes out and start shifting your hips to the sides as you extend the opposite knee. Yeah. And the next time you're on the right side, let's go there. Try to keep the right heel grounded, so do what you need there. And then extend the left leg, lift the toes. And explore folding forward, sitting tall. Maybe sitting down and then lifting up. Yeah, and then let's move to the left. Stay as slow as you can. Super strong legs. Same. So take a couple breaths to explore how your hips feel there. And then let's do one more to each side. So go to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Go to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to center. Extend. And let's do 3 of this, leaning into your hands, lifting the hips and lowering again. So take an inhale, long spine. Exhale, the arms stay straight. Press the floor, lift the heels, come to the tips of your toes. A lot of weight on your hands. And then lower, inhale. Exhale, shift your weight, lift the hips, feel that handstand. Push, 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 strong core. And lower. And one more, exhale. Squeeze your belly towards the spine, those lower ribs towards the pubic bone. Press the floor. Lower. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring the hands to your hips. Come the rest of the way up, inhaling. Exhale. Nice. So let's do Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Standing on the left foot, bring the right knee up and stand tall. And or maybe grab the big toe and extend the leg if that's there. Yeah. The left leg is extended, your torso is straight and not leaning back. Nice. And then let's bring the leg to the right, keeping the hips relatively neutral and even and forward. Nice. And then bring the leg back to center and take the outside of the knee or the foot with your left hand. Bring the right hand behind. Turn. So again, another place to feel the turning from the spine as the hips stay squared forward, relatively, right? And then come back to center. Grab the big toe. Release the left hand. Release the right hand. Keep the leg extended in front of you for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. The other side. Left knee up, standing on the right. Stay long with your torso. Maybe you grab the big toe, extend the leg. Couple breaths here. Nice. Open the leg to the left. Bring the leg back to center. Take the outside of the foot and the knee with the right hand. Bring the left hand behind. Nice. Come back to center. Retake the big toe. Release the right hand. Release the left hand. Keep the leg extended, floating for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it down. Let's do the sun salutation and come back to standing. Inhaling, bring the arms out and up. Reach, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhaling, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, take a little moment there in Cobra or upward facing dog, stretching the front. Exhaling, downward facing dog. And coming to plank actually, let's do a couple moments of plank. So feeling that front body engaged strongly, your back body too, but feeling that abdomen strong, your spine long. Nice, couple more breaths. And do one more, full inhale and exhale. Nice, take an inhale. Exhale, fold down dog. Take an inhale. Exhale, come forward. Float or walk to your hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands to your heart. Okay, so now stand again in Tadasana with your feet hip width apart. And let's bring the arms out and up. Palms towards each other. And as you point your tailbone super low, so imagine you have a wall behind you, work on the reach. Lift, 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 and maybe you work on reaching with your arms behind if you feel like you can keep everything super strong in the front, right? Length, reaching with each inhale, feel a little more reach, like your fascia is stretching up. Imagine you're hanging from something and you feel that type of length. Nice. And exhaling, bring the arms down. Okay. So now the same, but we're going to have the hands in this prayer position, elbows bent, and your elbows are going to be shoulder width apart. I'm going to try to do the same thing. Reaching up. Sometimes we have done this position on the floor and we're trying to be super flat, so the same thing. You're trying to open the shoulder joints and reach with the elbows up as you keep your pelvis neutral and your core strong. Nice, take a couple more breaths. Nice, and release. So we're working towards coming eventually, not today, but kind of doing a more active variation of a overhead dancer's pose, right? Like grabbing the right foot behind the back, right? So you can imagine that this is so hard that then you can do the other thing either passively or, like with a lot of work. So yeah, we work towards that, just trying to engage the back of the leg. So same thing, bring the hands in prayer position, elbows shoulder width apart, super strong core, point your tailbone down, and then lean into your left foot and bend the right knee 90 degrees. So the right foot is pointing back. When you do that, you might want to start doing that with your pelvis, right? So keep your tailbone pointing down so you engage that hamstring, right? And then maybe you start bringing the right knee back, and there you let go a little bit of keeping the pelvis in that posterior tilt. You're trying to work your hands towards your foot. Okay? Great. And lower that foot, release the hands, shake it out. Yeah. And let's try the other side. So, neutral pelvis, arms overhead, prayer position, elbows reaching up, bend the left, tuck your tailbone, engage your hamstring, engage your glute. Maybe to start going back, but do not lose the sense of control here in the front as you try to imagine grabbing the left foot behind you. Right? Great, one more breath. And release. Nice, and come to the front of the mat again. Let's go to the floor. Inhaling, arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhaling, long flat back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhale. Inhaling, up dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Nice. Bring the right knee forward and let's hold this lower leg now a little more across your torso. Squeeze it up towards your belly for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set the lower leg on the floor for pigeon. Reach with your left leg back. Yes, a couple breaths, staying active. If you want, you can bend that left knee and grab the foot, either from the side or overhead. Yeah, a couple breaths doing that. And feel free to, when you're ready, to let go and do more of the passive variation. Come forward into half pigeon. So find anything that got a little too intense. Find smoothness on the breath again. And then come into downward facing dog. And shake it out. And then bring the left knee forward. And let's stay in that plank. Lifting the lower leg towards the belly for 5, 4, squeeze it a little higher, 3, 2, 1, and then bring it down. Reach with your right leg. Open that hip and maybe bend that right knee and grab the foot. Yes. Finding length in the front, work on tucking the tailbone and creating a little more openness in the front of the right hip. And when you're ready, you can come down. Take a couple moments in a more soft way. Notice what's in your mind. Observe for a moment with distance. See if you can stay with the pure sensations. Nice, and come up into down dog for a moment, downward facing frog maybe even, so you have a little more room to elongate the spine, wag your tail, and then bring the knees to the floor, and take a seat, and slow, lower down on your back, so you can do it actively. And Amanda we have 3 minutes, we're gonna do some stretches and then we'll continue, but whatever you want to do. Bring the knees up to your chest.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you. Mwah. Bye. Grab the inner arches of your feet and happy baby. Flatten your whole back on the floor. Lengthen the back of the neck. Nice. Bring the knees to your chest. Everyone has a block or a bolster that they can use, yes? And I bring the feet to the floor and use either the block or the bolster, whatever. If you want something softer, it could be the bolster. I'm going to place it under the pelvis in a restorative bridge pose. And bring your arms in a cactus shape. So you feel the traps, the back of the neck, in between the shoulder blades, everything feeling nice and wide. And allow everything to soften against the floor. And then you can start rolling the head in one direction and the other. the next time you're to one side, the opposite arm extended and reach, so you feel all that opening in the shoulder, and the side of the neck, and the upper traps. Nice. And bend that elbow and bring the head back to center. Bring the head the other way and extend the opposite arm and reach. Now see what you want. Maybe you want to reach, maybe you want to just be passive there. Explore. Breathe deeply. Nice. And then bend the right elbow, or that elbow. I'm doing my right arm, but bend that elbow. And with now the head more in the center, do tiny little movements with the nose in the air and bring awareness to the very, very top of your neck. That area where the neck connects to the head. Trying to engage and release those tiny muscles that connect the very top of the neck to your cranium. They're sometimes pretty tight. So some random movements. They move the head in all directions. So nice. And then come back to center and check that the block or bolster is comfortable where it is, to bring the knees up to your chest. So you have a little wedge there behind the hips to stretch the low back and the mid back and the back of the hips. Take a moment. And then let's bring the legs up to the ceiling in this easy inversion. Let go of your arms, and you can even let go of your breath now and let those legs be as relaxed as you can hold them in that position. Nice. Take another breath. And when you're ready, lower the feet. Leave the hips, remove the block. Bring the knees to your chest for a twist. And then bring the knees to the left side. If you want to cross the right on top of the left, go ahead, open the arms. Take a couple of deep breaths. Bring one leg up, the other leg up. Take an inhale, exhale, bring the legs to the right. Come back to center. Bring both knees to your chest, your forehead to your knees. Squeeze tight. And then slowly sit up for your Shavasana. Shoulder blades maybe sliding under your back so your chest feels more open and the arms can rotate out more. Make your legs heavy, same with your tailbone, you can tuck it under a little so your sacrum is flatter. Check that the head feels nice and even, the face more or less facing the ceiling in a parallel way. Soften your lips, your tongue, the cheeks, your forehead. And follow your next exhales that you might do naturally with no extra effort. And allow them to take you a little deeper with each one of them. Like you're more and more interconnected with the surface that is holding you. When you're ready, start bringing some movement back. And stretch and breathe and do all the things that you might feel like doing. And then come into a seated position. Let's do one on. Take a deep breath in. Namaste.